Hello and welcome to Government Tyranny Mornings in Banned Literature. I'm Frank, and this is going to be a podcast that will examine books written in the past that warn about the dangers of government tyranny. Today we're going to cover 3 books: George Orwell's 1984, Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, and George Orwell's other book, Animal Farm. To give us our analysis of Animal Farm will be Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
To give us our analysis of Brave New World will be Angela. Hi, Angela.
Hello.
Yours truly will analyze 1984. Let's start with Angela's book, Brave New World. How does the government control society in your book?
Well, in Brave New World, the society is controlled by the government through peaceful means. The family has been demolished, and everybody is raised in the Hatching and Conditioning Center. The castes are determined at birth, and everyone is conditioned through something called hypnopaidic conditioning, which is basically sleep hypnosis. They are taught during their sleep what they want them to believe while they are awake. If there is anything if anybody starts to believe that maybe they're not quite so happy with anything happening while they are awake, they are given a medication called Soma, which is a hallucinogenic drug, which kind of takes them on a brief vacation, and they come back and they're all happy and ready to go in their lot in life again.
Is there anything in your book, maybe a trend that you see happening today, or maybe in the future of your society or in your government?
There are a lot. The first one that's most amusing for me would be the use of the drug Soma, partially because there is actually a medication out there named Soma that is used for the people that are just trying to get a break from reality. And there are a lot of medications out there that people go ahead and use, such as antidepressants, anti-anxiety, when they just are not able to go ahead and deal with the realities that are surrounding them. One situation would also be the immediate gratification. Everyone is so used to everything being delivered immediately, whether it is a news story or a video game, a TV show or a movie being sent directly to their computers, that they just really don't know what it's like to have to wait for anything anymore. And also there's a concern with the genetic engineering. In the book they also go ahead and through the castes, they decide everything from the time that you are conceived. They go ahead and deprive the lower castes of oxygen to make sure they aren't as smart as the higher castes. They go ahead and give them their immunizations while they are going through, while they are still fetuses. And while, of course, we are not quite to that point anymore, we are currently looking at DNA to try and create the most optimal human when they are born.
Now let's go to Amy's book, Animal Farm.
How does the government control society in your book?
In Animal Farm, after the farm is taken over by the animals, the pigs who induct themselves as the leaders are immediately using the lower animals, quote-unquote, as the laborers. The pigs control the other animals by using lies to cover the truth from their questionable activities and death to all who don't follow.
How do the characters act in your book in that environment?
The characters at Animal Farm at the beginning of the revolution are all for it. They're completely gung-ho. After Napoleon becomes leader and the rules change, they're almost brainwashed into thinking Napoleon can do no wrong, when in fact he goes against the very principles of animalism. They are thinking they are reaching utopia. All the animals are overworked and underfed, with the exception of the pigs, of course.
Is there anything in your book, maybe a trend that you see happening today or maybe in the future for your society or your government?
Oh, most definitely. The theme or trend that I notice that happens the most in the book is propaganda and, of course, brainwashing. I think the media takes a great place for propaganda in our society, as well as brainwashing. I think the thing that we can look at the most is conspiracies, and I think our government does their best to try and hide from the public and our society what they want us to see. Now let's look at Frank's book, 1984.
How does the government control society in your book?
In George Orwell's 1984, society is structured like a pyramid. The proles, or the common people, are at the bottom. Next is followed by the outer party, and then at the very top by the inner party. The population is constantly under surveillance, and all the information is controlled and edited to fit the party's interests.
How are the characters in this environment?
Well, the main character, Winston, He is part of the outer party and is a propagandist. He does all the editing for the newspapers and knows when the party lies and manipulates information. However, he is very fatalistic in that he doesn't think there is any hope in the situation. Then you have Julia, who is in the same position as Winston. However, she is more upbeat and looks to have fun with her life despite the party. She will often break rules, smuggle food from other party officials that are corrupt, and just try to take advantage of what the system leaves out. Then you have the Pearls, who basically don't have a working mind. They have blind loyalty to the party as if they're gods. If the party says that 2 plus 2 is 5, the Pearls are going to agree with them and jump up and down. They're a very ignorant population.
Is there anything in your book, maybe a trend that you see happening today or maybe in the future for your society or in your government?
I think it can be said that today's population is in a way similar to the Pearls. Although it may not be as extreme as blindly following a leader, there is certainly a sense of ignorance in the population. I think most are like Julia in that they probably know that something's bad. They may not know what is bad, but they're going to focus on their lives and not worry about it. And there are even people like Winston who see all the corruption, see the lies, the bad leadership, and they're looking at a population that doesn't care about elections or legislation or what's happening in the real world. People are more concerned with their baseball games and football games rather than stuff that actually matters. Yet there is a high growing population of people that are angry with their government and are trying to change it. And I think that provides people that are like Winston some light at the end of the tunnel of a possibility of things changing in this country.
Why are these books significant in this day and age?
I think these books are significant because they give you the signs to when tyranny is upon you. Now, granted, they show very extreme situations that probably wouldn't happen. I mean, really small chance. But if you ever do see signs of this, it acts as a warning mechanism to where you know that this is a bad road and we need to turn around. It's almost like in history where you'll read a part of history so that way you won't repeat the same mistakes that previous generations have made.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us for this podcast of Government Tyranny Warnings in Banned Literature.